All right. Let's party. Or by party, we mean podcasts about sports stuff. New York Red Sports. Hello, welcome to the Nosebleeders show. I am Phil. That is Mike. We are coming today to talk about something that in my lifetime has unfortunately happened too often. And that's, of course, the Yankees losing a summertime series to the Red Sox.
Why? It's not of all seasons this season. Why? They're like not even like being an asshole to Boston Red Sox or their fans. The teams are like here and here, right here. You know, the teams are not even compatible. It's not even fun, and yet the Yankees still somehow get nervous when they play a rival and they play like idiots.
It is something in my lifetime that I've learned as somebody who grew up in southern New England in a town that was about 70-30 tilted in the Red Sox direction, who got harassed for being a Yankee fan my whole life till I moved out. I would say that if there's anything I've learned, it's this.
Yeah.
Whenever you see any type of statistic in baseball that you think is going to be consistent, throw it right out the window when it comes to the Yanks playing the Sox. You see, oh, this team is dominating. Oh, this pitcher hasn't given up a run in 2 months. Oh, this hitter is hitting 400. None of that matters when they actually show up at Fenway or when they come down to the stadium. It doesn't compute. The statistics don't matter. It doesn't matter that they're double-digit games behind. I think, well, they might not be anymore, but it just doesn't matter. It will be the exact opposite of what you think is going to happen, and you just have to get used to it. Because I thought, hey, they're going to pound them. They're going to walk in their own house and embarrass them in their own house. It's going to be a sweep. It's going to be, they're going to put up 45 runs in 3 games. There's going to be Red Sox fans wanting to jump off the green monster at the end of it. And then here we are 2 days later, and we have to talk about what we talked about last year, which was why can't this team make contact when the bases are loaded with nobody out?
I don't know. It's a nightmare. It's the same problem since 2009 and even before 2009 when they weren't winning between the 2003 and 2009. They don't hit with runners in scoring position. That's like the Yankees' Achilles heel.
My thing is, yesterday they didn't even have to hit. They had the bases loaded with nobody out. They were down by 2. They could have hit 2 fly balls or 2 very weak grounders and tied the game. But instead they struck out a bunch because that's what they do. Like, it was flashbacks of last year, and it's the most frustrating damn thing to watch because you're thinking, all right, we got him set up now. And then strikeout. It's frustrating, man. It really is. And it sucks. It sucks because at the end of the day, I think the Red Sox are only like a game out of a playoff position or something because the stupid expanded wild card. And now they're thinking, oh, we got a chance. Although, you know what? That's kind of in a diabolical way what I want. I want them thinking they have a chance, so they spend this year, and then they end up being stuck in that perpetual mediocrity of third place like the Blue Jays were for like 10 years. That would make me happy.
Yeah, I would like to see the Yankees put teams to bed. They haven't done it against Baltimore. They didn't do it against the Dodgers. They can't even do it now against the Red Sox. I'm not saying the season's over. I'm not jumping off a cliff. They're great. They're having the best season in years. But I'd like to see them, especially with Cole, who's coming back Wednesday. I'd like to see them.
We'll get to that.
Snap things up a little bit here. And Rodon and what's his face? Stroman have been good. Stroman's had a few games where he's like, he's off a little.
3 ERA, brother. I mean, he had a couple games where he dominated too. He's hot and cold, but I like him.
Yeah, he's, and they expected him to come in here as like a 4th starter anyway. So, and Rodon is just complete change, but just had that bad game. And, Cole couldn't be coming back at a better time. But I want to see this Yankee team I know they can't be the 98 Yankees, but I want to see this Yankee team put teams to bed. Or do we have to get Grimace to come to the ballpark and start throwing out pitches?
We don't have any Mets fans on today, but well, that is, and good for them, by the way. And also, they're a team that's only like a game out of a playoff position, even though they're terrible. As far as what you're saying, I want to piggyback on that because, yes, I want to see them. Like you said, put teams to bed because here's the thing. They couldn't finish the sweep of the Royals. They couldn't finish the sweep of the Astros a little while back. There's like 3 or 4 series now. I'm seeing a pattern where the Yankees pound your face in for their first game or 2, and then they get lazy in the last game. Part of that, I think, is the fact that this team played a ton of road games all back to back with no off days. Today, as we're recording this, is Monday, the 17th today, I think it is.
17th, yeah.
Yeah, this is the first off day they've had in like 2 weeks. So I'm not going to really rag on them too badly because I think yesterday's game might have just been a function of them running out of gas, because that does happen. These are human beings at the end of the day, and they need a day to just sleep in and chill and not have to worry about it. And it just sucked that the end of the trip culminated at a trip to the rival's house. And they get one off day, and we're going to get to your thing that you said in a second. They have to play against the Orioles and then the Braves. So 2 second place above 500, really good teams. This has really been a crazy stretch for this team, and they've been handling it well. They have, because at the end of the day, it was what, a 4-3 road trip. That's not awful against two decent teams.
Yeah, and then they play the Mets, and just because it's the Mets and it's the local rival, that's going to give them a headache, even though they should beat the Mets handily. And then they play the Blue Jays, and it's going to.
Well, the Jays suck this year, and I
think they're cutting people out. Kevin Biggio's on the Dodgers, so.
Don't be shocked if not half the team, but if a couple of key guys are not there when they show up to play against the Blue Jays in a few weeks. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Yeah, right now it's the off day. They need to regroup. You said it best. They should not have lost 2 out of 3 to the Sox. They should have pounded their faces in. Like I said, it should have been just a complete putting them to bed situation. It shouldn't have been close in any of these games. The Red Sox are not good. They're a team that's barely above 500 because they haven't had the toughest schedule, by the way. I don't know if you've looked at it, but they haven't had that toughest schedule. They're a team that is similar to last year's Yankee team. I think they're going to finish around what the Yankees did last year, 82 wins within a couple of games. However, those teams, they're still above 500. They can still beat you on any given day, and that's sort of what we saw. Do I expect this to continue the next time they play them? Absolutely not. When they come to our house, I want all 6,000 Red Sox fans who are showing up to get bored and leave in the 6th inning because they're down by double digits in every single game. That's what I want. I want it to be a lot more decisive next time.
Well, one thing I wanted to mention before we move on is the Yankees are running into within this season and next, they're running into a good problem. They're going to have 6 people who can start in outfield technically. They have Verdugo. If they keep him, they sign him this year. They have Judge. They have Soto if they keep him. Stanton.
He can't play the outfield.
Dominguez. And Spencer Jones is coming up soon, eventually.
He's supposed to be like the lefty Aaron Judge kind of situation.
So, I'm wondering what they're going to do. I mean, if they're going to go all in on Soto, does that mean they're going to have to cut time? I think Rizzo's going to be done. He's falling apart. It's sad. Glaber should go. They should move on from him. And then Stanton is just a contract issue. I think they would move on from him if they could to bring up one of these young guys. And I'm not even knocking Stanton. I just think the situation.
Oh, okay. You just said a lot. Let's unpack it one. Let's unpack it one by one.
Let's unpack it.
Aaron Judge is not obviously playing center for the rest of his career. No. That's not happening. We all know that's not happening. I don't know if he'll even be a full-time outfielder the rest of his career. No. I would like to see them do what the Phillies did with Bryce Harper. Dude, just move him to first base.
That's the talk of the town, yeah.
Move him to first base. Look, I like Rizzo for what it's worth, but Rizzo he's injured now. He hasn't really been good in a while. And so, you know what?
Yeah.
Old. I mean, it's crazy to say old because these guys at this point are younger than I am. So I don't really like to talk like that. But he's at the twilight of his career, to put it that way. I would like to say that he's great. He's had some great moments here. Defensively, I think he's the best guy that's the team's had since Teixeira. I like him playing first base at first base. But hey, if Judge in his huge, massive frame can learn how to stretch, he could take some hits away for some people. So I would like to see that happen, especially with Dominguez coming up, with possibly Jones coming up. I do think they're going to re-sign Soto. Yeah. Let's face it, with Stanton, he's a DH full-time. Yeah. And Verdugo, I really, really like. But I don't think that they're going to pay him. I don't think they're going to pay him to stay in the team. What he'd be asking, what he's worth, because I think he's a good player. He hits for average. He has some pop. He defensively, he jumps for balls that don't make sense. I really, really have enjoyed watching him this year.
He brought the dog thing into the clubhouse.
He's got that Nick Swisher energy. He's got that kind of goofy.
That's what Keith McPherson was saying.
Yeah,
He's like a better Nick Swisher. Not that Swisher was bad, but just the way things have been working out. Verdugo has been better in this situation. Yeah.
I don't know about Verdugo coming back. I mean, it'd be cool, but where do you put him at that point?
Somebody's got to go. Yeah,
somebody's got to go.
Yeah,
and he'll go to another team and he'll get a healthy contract and he'll have a good career. But I don't think it'll be here. If they bring him back, that'd be great. But yeah, I think you're right. There is going to be a logjam in the outfield. Of good young talent, because if it's Jones, Dominguez, and Soto as the outfield next year, that'd be pretty nice. I'm just saying, I would take that. I would take that.
I have a little bit of breaking news as I went to look up the age of Anthony Rizzo, who's 34, by the way.
Yep.
Getting reports everywhere that he could miss 4 to 6 weeks with an arm fracture, but he won't need surgery. So it's on all the.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll get a little sneak peek at what they're going to be.
6 weeks.
LeMahieu will be there.
That puts him in August. You can play DJ at first, put Cabrera at third for now. I don't know when John Birdie is coming back. Don't forget about him.
He's an injury-prone guy too, from what I understand.
But when he's on the field, he's good.
He's good.
He's like you were saying a minute ago that Verdugo is the upgrade of Swisher. Well. Birdie is the upgrade of IKF. He's the same style of game.
Yes.
He's just better at it in all facets.
He just doesn't pitch.
Not yet. Who
knows? No one
knows. 6 weeks put Swisher in the beginning of August for him to even start rehabbing. And remember, the minor leagues, they only play until the end of August. So he's not going to – he'll have to find a way to get into a couple of minor league games. So you're talking 2 months of him. What's he really going to give you at the end of the year? And again, I'm not willing to throw him out completely, but now you got to put him in the back of your head. And they might have to really think about trading for a first baseman at some point this summer if it's going to be like that, or just concede that, hey, DJ is now your first baseman and we have to get a third baseman. That's the only real way to do it.
And they also have a really good catcher coming up. I wonder if they move Austin Wells to first at some point. They usually do that with catchers, but I'm making this up as I go along here. I don't know.
And again, we're not in the meetings where they actually talk about this, but I'm sure that there are some people, the higher-ups in the organization who behind closed doors have talked about this. They go, how can we move this around to make all the pieces fit and keep all the depth the best we can?
Yeah. By the way, did you see the whole Trent Grisham thing where they were saying we want Soto? I heard it. I heard it after the fact.
Loved it.
See, I don't really have a problem with Trent Grisham. I don't necessarily even think they were picking on Trent Grisham. I think they would have been chanting that regardless, because the day before, Soto was standing on the dugout steps with his gloves on and his bat, and that was like the day after we heard he was going to sit out. I think people were just mad that like he can play. Why is he sitting out? Put him in. And at least Trent Grisham hit the home run. I felt bad for Grisham; he didn't deserve it. But I don't think I don't think they were attacking Trent Grisham. I think it was more.
No. It wasn't an attack on him. Yeah. It was the fact that in that moment, it's not really. I don't consider the Dodgers to be a rival of the Yankees because I'm not 80 years old. I was never here when they were in Brooklyn. We'll say that.
But bums.
The Dodgers are the team with they're kind of the West Coast Yankees. They buy a lot of stars. They spend a lot of money on their players. A lot of fans from around the country hate them. So it's kind of like the Battle of the Titans. It was on national TV. Oh, yeah. Everyone's got the game on. In the background at their barbecue, whatever the situation is. The baseball world was watching that. And Trent Grisham, I would say, has gotten the short end of the stick in terms of playing time more than any player I think I could name in the history of the Yankees the last 15 years.
He's a starter,
He's a starter who's seriously had, 12 at-bats the entire year or some crazy... I know I'm making the number up, but I don't think he's had more than 20 or 25 at-bats, and we're in the middle of June. So you can't really be upset at him for anything he's done. I have no issue with him. Yeah. And so the fans weren't getting on him. They were more getting on Boone for the fact that, what you just said, which was Soto's here. We have two guys on base. We're losing. We could really use a big hit right now. Soto's been clutch as hell the whole year. Let's get him in there rather than put the guy who's kind of unproven in there. So it felt good for Grisham to hit that because it shut that chant right down, and the stadium woke up because I had the game on, and the fans seemed bored that game. And as soon as that hit went over the thing, it felt like the playoffs, baby. Everyone was cheering. Well, all the Yankee fans. There were a lot of Dodgers fans there that weekend, but that's a different thing.
That's a whole thing. I didn't want to get into it.
You know what? I think it's funny because the Yankee fans, I've done a good amount of road games in my life. We do the same thing on the road. We go and we pack other stadiums and we try to take it over and we get annoying. So
we don't call in a police escort. The Dodger fans are organized. They called in a police escort.
That safe. Right there. Yeah, that was a little odd, but
that's some minor league nonsense right there. Come on.
But you know what though? It's fun to have another team try to do it to us because at the end of the day, they were still outnumbered like 3-1 in the stadium. It's not like they took it over. I've been to games on the road, where it's all down in Tampa, where it's 85-90% Yankee fans.
Baltimore,
I haven't been down there yet. I was at a game in Colorado last year actually, and it was about. I want to say it was like 55-45 Yankee fans. We kind of took over a little bit. We lost the game in a walk-off. I was there to watch that in person, which sucked. But it was like back and forth the whole game. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so to have it happen at Yankee Stadium is rare. So it was kind of fun to see that. Just to see like, oh, hey, taste of our own medicine, West Coast Yankees sort of deal. It was fun. I really enjoyed that.
Well, for next year is the anniversary of the I have a banner hanging up of the Brooklyn Dodgers winning the 55 World Series against the Yankees. So I think it would be cool if they're playing in Yankee Stadium if they wore Brooklyn caps. At least one game to honor Jackie Robinson.
I think they alternate it, so I think it's there next year. So maybe they will. I don't know. I don't think they're that creative. Oh, you know what? That segues so perfectly.
I know.
If we're talking about alternate jerseys of the Dodgers, we did a whole episode on the City Connects.
Let's go to the Dodger City Connects.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you're on the audio, thank you, but come over to the YouTube. We use visuals on the show a lot, so this won't make sense to you. So these
subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, smash that sub. But thank you for listening. So these uniforms that they have here, these uniforms for the City Connects, the City Connect 2.0, I guess. I don't hate them.
I can't stand them. I love the hat. The hat I love.
Why do you hate Dodgers? Because the thing is, they didn't.
Block lettering and the two-tone and the futuristic and the confetti and it does. What does it say? Los Angeles. I don't see the Los Angeles anything.
Confetti and tinsel and shiny and partying. That's LA, baby. That's LA.
Yes.
So it actually does kind of do the local culture a little bit of justice. I don't like the two-tone lettering on the numbers. That looks real dumb. That looks like I don't even know, some kind of minor league or some kind of golf shirt. I hate that. I don't mind the Los Angeles with like the little streak across it. I think it's cool instead of just having it be plain block letters like Baltimore and some of the other ones. The Nike logo is crap on all of them, and then you move that to the sleeve. I've said that for years. I don't hate these. I don't hate them. And the hats are cool because it's, it gets the 3 letters on there. It's rare to have a 3-letter hat. By the way, there's only 2 teams in the league that have 3 letters in their hat. Can you name them?
St. Louis
and
let me think.
Also a Midwest team.
St. Bernard. I don't know. What's the other team? I can't think.
Oh yeah, I'll give you another hint. It's not the city.
Brewers.
It's not the city. It's the team name. That's on the hat.
It's on the hat.
Also a Midwest team.
The Sox, the White Sox.
See, there we go.
There you go.
Fun little trivia here on
St. Bernard's.
Nosebleeders here today.
Yeah.
The hat's cool.
It doesn't match the jersey though. Like the hat is classic Dodgers script baseball, and the jersey's block lettering.
It's also not Dodger blue. It's more of like it's more like a Yankee navy blue. It's crap. I wish they'd go with the regular Dodger colors, or what they could do is they could totally flip it around and make it either gray or white with blue lettering. That would be sick too.
I like the name on the side of the hat too, because we always see the New Era logo or the Nike. It's cool that they put the name on it. But
the hat is sick. If you're a fan of this team, you should be buying this hat. The uniform, I could take or leave. I will say this: it does beat the Los Dodgers.
Yeah. which is fine, but it's nothing special except the Los part. They just put Los.
It's so dumb.
It's good for the Spanish-speaking community.
Oh yeah, the people that your friend pointed out on the show that they kicked them all out to build the stadium like 70 years ago. Yeah, it totally fixes everything now that they're using the Spanish word for the.
It's so LA was part of Mexico. There's a very large Mexican population. That's cool, but it's just so simple. They could have Mexican flag, or I guess they can't do that.
I said it last week. Make him wear sombreros. Okay, make the logo instead of an LA, just have it be a picture of a taco cart. Okay, just go straight up, man. If you're gonna go all in and on your stupid pandering and be that insulting, go all in. That's all I'm saying. All right.
What was the movie? Was it Next Friday where the guy was wearing the Dickies, the gang member, and he's like, "You're messing up my Dickies, Holmes. You know, get like a Dickies brand." Get that style. It's a West Coast style thing. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
it's from the movie Next Friday. It's
if we're gonna make movie references, and you know what? I should have pulled a picture of this up, but we'll do it on a future show. I don't know. You ever see the movie Basketball with the guys that made South Park?
No, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So the uniforms they made, they had a team on a fictional team called the Miami Dealers, and I swear to Christ, they look almost identical to the current Miami Marlins uniforms. Like it's like they were making a joke in like the late 90s, early 2000s that ended up coming true like 12 years later. And it was definitely pretty funny. But we'll deal with that later. So let's get back to the Yankees here after we're done making fun of City Connects. Gerrit Cole.
Wednesday.
Gerrit Cole's coming back Wednesday.
He's coming back. Not long overdue, only because he's been hurt. But yeah, they need him right now because they need him. I don't know how to say it. They need Gerrit Cole.
I don't think they do. I think they could have let him rehab for like another 2-3 weeks. I really do, and I mean that because that dude Poteet has actually had a couple of dandy starts.
He's been good. Yeah,
he's been really good. And the starting rotation that's not the issue with this team. It's the same issue as last year. Outside of Soto, no one makes contact when there's people on base. I will say this: if you're making the case that they need him as an extra arm, yeah, you're right, because the bullpen's kind of getting worn out a little bit. They need at the deadline like 2 or 3 arms in the pen. They really do.
And they cut that one guy, one of the bullpen guys. They DFA'd. The guy that
used to play for the Mets. Wow, Santana.
Yeah. So I couldn't think of his name. I almost said Santangelo, which I think is a guy from The Godfather. But anyway, they need him. I'm saying they need him because of what we just saw with Rodon and Stroman. So you want to have a nice weapon coming in there. Now, who knows how good he's going to be in his first start back?
I'm shocked.
Yeah,
but finish your thought. I want to.
I was sort of switching gears a little. The greatest comeback from injury I've ever seen was David Cone throwing a no-hitter, almost throwing a no-hitter. They took him out, coming back from aneurysm surgery, and he comes back and he almost throws a no-hitter. And they put Mariano in, so it was almost, you figured, it's going to be a combined no-hitter. But of all people, Mariano gives up a hit. But could Gerrit Cole come out throw a no-hitter in his return?
Well,
Can you imagine?
Which leads into my next point here, which is that usually, and you'll notice this, when a guy's coming back from injury, or you have a rookie who's making his debut, usually they do it on the road, on a low-stakes game against like the Mariners or the Royals or a team that doesn't really have a direct sort of rivalry. They're putting him right back in the fire in his first game into a very, very good hitting O's team right at home in the stadium. It's like, hey, you're the ace. We're paying you. Here's the spotlight. Like they didn't even screw around with waiting a couple extra days to make him do it, against the Braves, or even wait till next week against the Jays. They were like, nah, F this. You get out there and you show this team that's chasing us right behind us, nipping at our heels, to go F themselves. That's a ballsy move.
And they're going to keep him on an innings limit, like he's coming back from injury. They're going to take him out after like 80 pitches, or they're going to let him, he's not going to go 8 innings if he's great, is he? I mean, maybe he will.
No, I see him topping out around 5, topping out around 5. You know what, man? I'll take 4 innings of him over a lot of other people, though, and I think a lot of teams would. That probably was the logic behind this. But here's the thing. The risk you're taking with putting him in the spotlight against a team that's chasing you, what if he actually does show up and get shelled on Wednesday? Then what happens? Then everyone's going to go, oh, man, maybe he wasn't ready. Maybe you rushed him back. Exactly, too soon. So that's why I say it's a ballsy move. And the scouts or the evaluators or somebody must have seen enough and been like, oh, he's ready. He's our ace again. Get him in there.
That's the only thing I'm thinking is they're ready for him.
Yeah. And I'm excited for it because if he is, because look, it's a bad example, but 2004, Mike Messina was the same thing with him. He didn't come back till halfway through the season, and he said going in the playoffs, he's like, I feel great. I'm in mid-season form. Let's do it. And Cole is going to be heading into mid-season form right around the playoffs because he missed the first 2.5 months. So if you have him in summertime form, that could be the guy you ride through the playoffs, the way that Bumgarner did it with the Giants, the way CeCe did it with the Yanks in 2009. This could be a thing where they're setting it up for him to be just the guy when they need him in a few months. So hey man, I'm glad he took some time on the bench because it's not like they're chasing anybody. They're they more than held it together in his absence.
I feel like he was doing games up in Somerset, and then after the Somerset rehab game, he would join the Yankees in the Bronx. Like, I think that happened one night. So, like, you're talking about a guy who's, if that's so, he's dedicated, obviously. I mean, he could be their future manager, the way you see him in the dugout talking to players and stuff. So, I'm excited for him to come back. His confidence is great. You know, his leadership will be great. So, that's what we need.
And hey, who knows if maybe piggybacking again? I love using that word for some reason on this show. I don't use that anywhere else except this show.
Just here, piggyback.
Only here. Yeah. Who knows if maybe there was some 19-year-old who got to talk to him for 10 minutes the other night when he was doing his rehab start, who said, "Oh man, Gerrit Cole gave me some great advice and it turned my whole career around." Like, who knows?
Because Randy Johnson.
Who knows? That could happen. Where you see some guy 3 years from now going, "Oh man, I remember that night he started for us. He took the whole team out to the Olive Garden after the game. He gave me some great advice. Then I started using this other pitch, and then oh my god, I got called up 2 months later because I was dominating in relief, or whatever the case was." So we'll see if that has any ripple effect through the organization. That's a really good point.
That was, I mentioned Randy Johnson's. I forget, it was a whole future Hall of Famer at the time, or somebody, star pitcher, pulled Randy Johnson aside and said, "You got the stuff, you just need to do this." And that's how Randy Johnson became great after he left the Expos. So, maybe that will happen, like you just said, and we'll get the next Cy Young coming up.
We'll get the next Luis Heel coming up. That's right. Yeah. He had the only win against the Sox this weekend, not to bring that awful series back up. So we have, let's get to the...
we got fights. We got a slew of fights. I went through this rabbit hole of fights.
I just kept a couple
videos. Yeah. Some of these videos are really quick. So let's go. The first one.
Walk me through it. Give me the... let's do it. Let's go. I'm ready.
So this is Andre Dawson, and he's going to be at the plate. And the Hawk, one of the greatest hitters of all time. And he is gonna get this is against the Giants.
Look at that batting stance.
Plunked in the head. Is this Giants or the Padres? One or the other. It's hard to tell. It's grainy 80s footage. Now this looks bad, and you might say, Mike, why would you show this? It's bad because
this is not a brawl. This is just an injury. This is at this point. This is we're watching hospital footage. Oh, that's
other people. Okay, so it is the Padres, and it was Eric Shaw or Eric Shaw. I never know how to say his name. I remember the baseball card.
It's the golden brown. Yeah. So there's a brawl happening while this dude is just laying, about to get carted off, while dudes are in a fist fight.
Yeah. Are you a wrestling fan? Do you know anything about WWF? Do you know anything about, or at least the meme? Is that Rick Sutcliffe? I think it's Rick Sutcliffe. Do you know anything?
Sure. I'm. If you show me a meme, I might know it. But
so they're looking at him here. They're like, Hawk, you all right? You okay? These guys are best friends now. Checking them out. And I was mentioning wrestling because what you're going to see
Don't forget to bring a towel.
What you're going to see here is that they're looking at them. Both teams are concerned. It's like, I thought we were fighting. Now we're just checking out.
Now we're all...
He's getting up and there he goes. He's
oh, man.
He's like the Undertaker waking up out of the coffin. That's what I was trying to hint at. I just
man. Now, my question is this.
He's coming after him.
This is awesome. Was he just kind of waiting for the right moment to get back up to try to join the fight, or did he actually have oh my god, this fight's great.
Tony Gwynn's in there.
This is great. We got some Hall of
Gary
Famers
Templeton,
getting involved in this one. Okay.
Look at it. I mean, the Cubs didn't even have names on their jerseys back then. This is like 80.
This is old. This is very old
89. Yeah. Benito Santiago was catching for the Padres.
I like these Padres uniforms, by the way, with the SG, kind of like where the NY is. I actually really like these.
These
should bring these back.
'80s, they were so ugly in the '80s, and then they upgraded to the more of a navy blue and orange and same
And everyone
uniforms,
hated
different colors.
those.
Well, no, they were better, but now, yeah, looking back at these Padres jerseys, all the
They
stuff
were
from the
cool.
'80s is coming back. Yeah, so
Well, they went back to the brown and gold about 6 or 7 years ago, and
yeah,
it looks so much better now because no other team uses those colors. I think in any
yeah,
sport, unless there's some random hockey team or something. So I will say this: if you ever talk to somebody who was in a fight and they got knocked out during the fight, and I've never been knocked
yeah,
out, and hopefully never will, but
yeah.
who knows if I run my mouth at a bar too much one day,
Mhm.
people who get knocked out say this. They say that you get knocked out and then you wake up, however many minutes later you wake up and you think you're still in that moment. So
Yeah,
you get hit, and so
you
when you
know
wake
how long
up,
he
you
was out.
still are ready
Yeah,
to fucking brawl. So
he's
was it a
still,
thing where
he's
he
still
got
gonna,
like
yeah,
hit so hard that
I don't
it
know.
actually put him in a spot where he was blacking out for a few minutes and he got up and wanted to fight the pitcher? Or was it a situation where he got hit and was just laying there like, that motherfucker, I'm going to wait till his guard's down and get up and fuck his shit up in a minute? Like, so I want to know in that moment
I
where
don't
he was
know.
at with that.
Andre Dawson was a power hitter. He's a big guy, so I think it was the pent up rage. Now I want to compare that to a little clip of future.
Okay.
This in the future. Shawon Dunston. I just butchered his name because I can't talk. Uh, here's a comparison of something similar. Wait, no, is this
Last
it?
Sunday.
Oh no, this is the wrong one. I apologize. Wait, this is it right here.
Okay.
This is it. Throws inside. Oh, I'm gonna mess you up.
Related fight.
Whoop.
Oh my, wait, is that still Dawson or is that somebody
No,
else?
that was Shawon Dunston of the Cubs. Good player in his own right, but
Wait, I want
actually,
to see what was the rest of that play. There was a guy who
it
looked
just
like he was about to
ended.
do a cartwheel.
Yeah, this is from a highlight reel from Warner
Oh, this
Roll.
is from
So
somebody cut this up. This is why I love YouTube, is
I
because
just
you
love
can
the whiff.
find you can find all this random old ass 80s footage that people have that the league doesn't want you to see. Oh,
Yeah,
that one's almost as funny as the one we did with Aaron Seeley where Mo Vaughn tackled the
yeah,
guy. That was so funny.
yep.
No, yeah, this one's good. He actually managed to get to the mound and just missed. Oh, here's
Here-
another one.
Here's a little
Exposed.
slow-mo brawl, and this is like a cat, a lot of slapping and scratching. Andres Galarraga, who was known as the big cat, but the pitcher is doing all
I
this.
see what you did there.
The scratching, and even the ump is getting into the umps. Just walk away now. They're like, we don't want no part of this.
Yeah, it is definitely something that you notice with the old fights. The umps will jump right in. Man, the Expos.
Great uniforms with
I
the
need to
type
do
typewriter font. Yeah.
So I need to say this on
Look,
the
look at
show and
the
put it
wait,
on
look
record.
at,
Oh, wait,
I'm
what?
sorry. Look at the dragging bodies out. Look at they're all just dragging.
Well, the ump got like 3 guys out of that. That was
Yeah.
impressive. And then the other one's got his arms up, holding people
Yeah.
back too. Yeah, they didn't give an F back then.
So this is more with Andres Galarraga. This is from before you seen him get plunked. See, I went down this rabbit hole. I just kept finding great highlights. So they're all talking smack here. So this is later on in the game. Beans him in the leg. Galarraga. He misses.
Oh wow.
He
I like
goes
that little back around the back takeout move there. This is
Yeah.
good. Got the Braves here. This is from the 90s.
Yeah. This is
Yeah. I mean, the Braves and Dodgers never liked each other. I mean,
No.
ever. It's just kind of one of those rivalries I never really noticed being growing up as a Yankees, fighting
Yeah.
against the Red Sox. But yeah, these guys are not getting along. Oh, here's Carl Winslow umpiring a baseball game, apparently, telling everybody
Eric Gregg. Yeah.
Carl Winslow is telling everybody important life lesson as the music gets dramatic on this episode of Family Matters.
Wait, this is what we. Oh, okay. I had this in here twice. There was one other one. Okay, so this is now modern baseball. Now, modern fights usually suck.
Oh,
This one.
Take his helmet off?
No, he took it. Oh, he might have. That's Greinke.
It's that Greinke in
Yeah.
the box. Okay.
See, now look, the catcher's like, "All right, we're not going to fight, are we? Let's see. Wait, did he take his helmet off?
Did it take it off or did he take it off?
Oh, it hit
No,
him
it took it off and
Yeah.
he caught it. Wow.
I think that's Ian Kennedy, former Yankee. He's tossed.
Yes, it is.
Here's Greinke. Are you okay, man? Okay. Hey, Mattingly cursing dudes out here. And now, you think this is going to be over, just going to talk.
Nope.
No, this got ugly real quick.
Okay.
You got, I don't know if those are coaches or relievers with hoodies on, but they're going nuts. And this spills into the camera well. This is scary. This is a little scary.
That shot. I want to see that camera's shot. The one that's like right there. You can actually see.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. Oh,
good call.
I've never seen this fight before in my life. I promise. Okay.
Yeah.
That was just me willing that into existence.
Matt Williams holding Mattingly back. Oh man. two of the greatest first basemen ever. It's not even playing in there. They know what's up. I've never seen Mattingly that mad before. As a manager, that's the only time you see guys get mad with a manager.
He's generally known as a chill dude. That's true.
Yeah. Oh, look at the guy in the lower right with the iPhone. He jumped into, if you look down here in the lower right, the fan section.
Oh,
he jumps in.
Yeah.
Yo, let's go to my social, bro.
Bro, people are gonna love this on the grams, man.
Is that Steve Sachs, former Yankee? Steve Sachs on number 5 on the Diamondback? I didn't know he was still hanging around. Wow. I don't know what year this is. Yeah, Mattingly is
Greinke on the Diamondbacks is no, he was on the Diamondbacks later.
He's on the Dodgers here.
So
I
this
forget
is like,
what year this is.
if I had to guess, this is somewhere in like the early 2010s, maybe about 10-ish years ago. I'm not 100% in this either.
It's funny, in a lot of these fights, you'll see other teams holding back other players.
Grabbing the jersey, coaches fighting coaches. Please throw a punch somebody. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yasiel Puig. So yeah, it's definitely about 10 years ago.
He's looking to lick somebody, I guess. Yeah.
Well, Yasiel Puig will call in a hit on you if you piss him off too much. We know that from his off the field behavior.
It's true. Yeah, this is. Even for a scuffle, this is ugly. It's Don Baylor.
Awesome.
Don Baylor, former Yankee coach, great player. Wow, and they're still jawing it up. This is.
The thing is, this isn't even the original two guys. This is not the guy in the mound and Zach Greinke. These are just dudes from the teams that they're on opposite sides that just didn't like each other. It's starting back up. It's starting back up. I don't
remember this at all. This is huge. Like, you don't see this anymore.
We miss a lot of stuff living on the East Coast. We do.
Yeah.
Because this all happens at like 1 a.m. our time. Bottom of the 7th, what East Coast time is like 1 o'clock in the morning, so especially before the pitch clock. So yeah, no one would have seen this.
Wow. This is
the thing that's fun about
McGuire. McGuire was the hitting coach. I remember that.
These are divisional rivals. And like I was saying, I was gonna say that's not Nick Castellanos. That's somebody else, Castellanos. These guys don't like each other to begin with, and so sometimes when something like that happens, it just gives them an excuse to clear the benches and actually go at the guy that they didn't like in the other team that did something unrelated 3 months ago.
Totally.
Totally. And this is one of those fights that kind of was a boil over you could feel. I really wish we had a D-backs fan or a Dodgers fan here for more context, because
we have to look into this. Yeah, this
is like one of those ones that if we were still doing ratings, I would give like a 9.5.
Yeah.
This is good.
Look at that guy's name. Was it Bloodquist? Yeah. Oh, Bloomquist. This is Bloodquist. I'm like, that's fitting. Is anything else?
Well, that's because you thirst for blood, Mike. That's why we watch this show.
Here's a replay. Wait,
here's the slow-mo. So it did.
Oh, off his shoulder.
Oh, it took. Okay, so it did. And yeah, the helmet kind of fell off. All right.
Yeah.
The douchiest thing, and this happens in Yankee games. Look at this guy behind the plate, the audience guy with his tie on. Nothing I think is lamer lamer than when dudes wear ties to ball games. I know it's a status thing, and I'm a rich guy with my finance job going to the game after. No, you're lame. Okay, everybody hates you. You're not cool. You're stupid. Put on a t-shirt like everybody else. Drink a $14 beer and yell some obscenities. Or don't sit there and act like you're classing up the joint at a ball game. All right.
Is it Tim Wallach? You got 80s ball players all coaching in this game, which is kind of cool. What's this?
That's how it should be.
Yeah. You want the good players to come back and coach. So what is he doing? He's just thinking.
I'm still on the tie guy. What cities aside from LA and New York would even do that?
I don't know. Somewhere where they have to wear ties as a law.
I don't think any other cities would do that. I mean, maybe Chicago, probably not. No, and that's a specifically coastal lane.
You should come straight from work. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, take your tie off. Put it in your pocket. Unbutton your shirt. Don't be a dick. It's. I don't know why I'm upset at this guy when literally there's
it's a bloodbath going.
There's like shirts getting pulled, hair getting pulled. It looks like dudes getting punched.
I'm surprised nobody broke their toe on a chain link fence. Yeah, I'm surprised nobody broke their toe in the chain link fence. And
very specific reference there, Michael.
In the camera.
I see what you were doing there.
McGuire and Matt Williams.
We gotta get a D-backs fan on the show. I don't know. Yeah. I gotta look up some D-backs YouTube channels.
We need a full breakdown because this went on and on. Oh, here's the camera view you wanted. Look, that's the guy.
Yeah, there it is.
That's scary as hell. You were trampled.
I don't know any. I'm gonna poke around and see if I can find anybody to help
Yeah.
to come in here and like do this fight with us, because there has to be a backstory to this, because you don't the benches don't get cleared and dudes who are not involved onto this level unless there's something else that was building up beforehand. That's just not the nature of any sports fight.
We don't play the audio because of copyright reasons. I guess it doesn't matter, and plus we can't talk over the audio. But yeah, so I don't know the whole story here. McGuire, look, you got 3 of the
I love the 2 coaches grabbing each other's feet.
Yeah. McGuire, Matt Williams, and Mattingly all in the same.
And as you pointed out earlier, the umps aren't really involved in this. They're just like, hey guys, break it up.
I'm not getting hurt. Too old for this. Yeah, and here's Squirty Magoo taking over.
There's Cranky just run into casually going to first base after all that's over.
That was insane.
That was good.
Good.
We got a
nice slew of fights.
I want to know the story behind that now. I want to know the whole story.
We gotta look it up.
We're gonna get a fan. I need to find. I don't know any Diamondbacks fans. I don't know. Do they even? I know they're a small market team. We're gonna find one. I'm gonna find somebody on YouTube. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be fun.
We gotta find out the heat. I'm sure we can find.
Is that the show, or we got more to go?
That's a show.
That's
all
show?
I found today.
All right.
That's everything.
This has been awesome. This is gonna be a lot of fun to when you clip it up and we have the individual clips. So, people, Michael, talk to you soon. Peace and love, people. See you next week or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, later.